Good morning, everyone. Deuce almost didn't have his glasses on. How are you today, Roseanne? Welcome into the chat. It's Substack. Meet Money, the meat queen herself. I am gendering you as a female. Dara, if that is wrong, let me know. The meat queen herself, Meet Money. Dara is in the house. Madison is in the house. How is it going, everybody, this morning? I love you. You love me. We are an intergalactic family of peace, love, and joy that is figuring out that the only way to save the country and to save the world is through information. Saving the nation with quality, fact-based information that aligns with democracy at all times. Isn't that so beautiful and special? We're so appreciative of the hearts, the tippy-tappies, and the dippy-dappies that are being dropped left and right across the internet right now, because we're letting them know. We're letting them know what we're about here, what we're doing, and it's so beautiful to be with you today. It's Friday. It's May 2nd. Yesterday was May Day. Yes, we are beautiful and special AF. If you are sitting there in Substack or anywhere across the world beaming into this space, we want you to be on the Twitch stream. We want you to move over to the Twitch stream if you are capable of doing so. One thing Rev Deuce is realizing he just forgot to do is to update his link tree so that it has the Discord in it. The Discord is where we drop lots of links. There's a library in our Discord where we go through and we drop books like the Shadow Network and books like Messengers of the Right that everybody should be, using at all times. Why is it hidden? Invite link, hidden, edit invite link. I don't know. We're just going to move on with the show. Will you tell me if you are feeling down? Will you tell me if you are feeling inadequate? Will you tell me if you are feeling okay? I would love to know that about you. I don't know why it says this link is hidden when we do this. I would love to know about you. Would you like to know about me? I would like to know about you. You're a special person and I love you. That's it. That's just how it goes, you know. You are a special person and I love you. And so Rev Deuce is here for you. Abstract J feels like garbage. Abstract J, whatever could you be talking about? Is it because of allergies or because of the world? What is it? We want to know. Okay, what is up with Discord? Abstract J, the artist formerly known as Jason Dyer. Oh, okay. Abstract J is Jason. Okay, Jason. Well, welcome in, Jason. I don't know how to do a Discord link, Jason. That makes me feel like absolute garbage. In fact, I've ruined the Discord link for the rest of the show. And who could even figure out how to figure out any of this stuff on the internet? You know what I mean? But we don't want to start the show with low energy, so we're going to tell people to just figure out the Discord. So, Jason, I've got good news for you. I believe that the fascism is cracking. I believe that the fascism is cracking. It doesn't change the fact that the children at the University of Arkansas, Alabama, that the children of the University of Alabama were cheering and excited and smiling at Donald Trump's, just wild antics last night. Doesn't change that. That's for sure, Jason. But I think that what's happening is things are cracking. These people are obviously doing propaganda in the face of a failing democracy that they have created, in the face of a failing country that they are creating. Pam Bondi is doing, hey, Bathroom Guy, Pam Bondi is doing the most wild propaganda. Yesterday, so 2 days ago, she said 119 million lives were saved in 100 days by Donald Trump. A third of the country would be gone, would not be alive if Donald Trump hadn't stopped some fentanyl from coming through the border, right? And then she turned to the cameras yesterday. She literally, during this, North Korea style dear leader salute, where they all had MAGA hats that said Gulf of America on them, The propaganda is next level. So she goes, "You ready for this, media?" And she turns to the cameras and she goes, 229 lives were saved. So she upped that number by 1 million. 2/3 of the country would be unalive right now if it weren't for Donald Trump, is the claim. I mean, are you kidding my daddy? We are going to get into it. We are going to show you how dumb the propaganda is. Sarah Fink, welcome. I love you so much. We are going to do a briefer version of the religious portion of the service. These are the announcements. Yesterday, I went to a May Day protest in New York City, and it felt good. We also saw that there was some coverage. It was on cable news. Cable news is the lowest quality form of information diet you could have. Of course, we're not talking about Fox News. Fox is specifically purpose-built to manipulate people. It is a propaganda state TV network at this point with the administration that we have. But CNN and MSNBC, they are fact-based. They do journalism. Sometimes they run afoul of fact checkers because they have all sorts of shows where there's lots of opinion flying back and forth. But they generally are journalism-based places. And so we saw a congressperson interviewed on MSNBC about the May Day protests, and that is a step forward. The pro-democracy movement does not exist if it does not get covered. Do you know what I'm saying? If a protest falls in the forest and no one is there to film it and then broadcast it, does it make a sound? That's what we're talking about today here on the Mega Church of Joy. So, George Ricard, you are a beautiful being of light. Sarah Fink, you are a beautiful being of light. Much love to all of my beautiful beings of light out there. I love you. You love me. We are an intergalactic family. Let's get started. Thank you, Red Ball. Thank you, Blue Ball. Thank you, Yellow Ball. We thank the different colored balls because we realize that gratitude does not have to be applied to anything that makes sense. Gratitude is simply a state of being. So how will you be grateful today? Grateful in this moment, grateful in every single moment. Life is nothing but a series of moments. So from this moment forward, I will be grateful. Things I am grateful for today is all of you tuning into the program. Things I am grateful for today is that it is always 69 degrees in Boca Raton, where I'm streaming live from. I'm grateful that I will be playing with my band later. I'm grateful that my friend Brian, not me, but my friend Brian will be in town later. And I'm grateful in this moment, of course, again, for all of you. Bathrobe Guy says, love and meta to all of you. We are getting reports from Jacksonville that it is already kind of hot. Well, I am grateful for all of you. And so how will you be grateful throughout your day? How will you support people throughout your day? You know, one time back in the early days of TikTok for this stream, we talked to someone. I said, how will you be grateful? How do you show gratitude to people? How will you support someone today? And she said, it's a little hard. Normally I, take care of homeless people in my community, but I can't because my family our home has been destroyed by Hurricane Helene. And I thought that was amazing that this woman, a stranger on the internet, was saying that she was so sad because she had to focus on her family. It's like, of course, focus on your family. But what a beautiful, beautiful soul that was ready to give the world support. So how will you support people today? You do not even have to be as big of a rock star as that woman was. You could be like a 200-person club rock star. You do not have to be an arena touring rock star. You do not have to be a global tour rock star. You can be the kind of rock star that you are able to be and that you're hoping to be in every moment, because you are a beautiful being of light who is in charge of their energy at all times. Madison is celebrating that she will be with other congregants of the Tub later tonight. Abstract J is grateful for this information and people who wish to share in this Substack format. Heck yeah, everybody, that is so beautiful. So we are We are at 7 folks on Substack, although Substack never tells you if people come in or leave. We're grateful that we have 3 people on Twitch. On Twitch, we have to average on Twitch 3 people per stream so that Rev Deuce can be boosted more. So that's why we ask people to go over to there. Let's say the prayer of oppression and move on to the news with Deuce. If anybody wants to call in and talk about their media diet, we are where we are as a nation because of information. We are where we are as a nation because we have allowed for the defenestration of people's minds straight out of their brains and onto the sidewalks of America, because we have not cared about the media diets of our loved ones and our neighbors. We have sat back and allowed a propaganda industrial complex to be built around us to silo our friends and neighbors, to attract them and attack them in the information war. Yes, and... Keep tapping that heart button on Substack. This program is brought to you by Grass Milk, Jim Morris's. Jim Monsees. We also do not know what Grass Milk is, but that's okay. We like to say that we're sponsored by it. So the prayer of oppression, and then we will get into the program for the day. We will read the news. We will talk about the propaganda. We will show you ways that you can be a fact warrior and flood the zone with facts in the face of the fascists who want to flood the zone with shit. So here we go. Our God in this religion is the fear God, God of fear, Todd. So we start with this, and then we'll move on to the news. So don't go anywhere, Fred Wagner. Don't go anywhere, Danette Man. Almighty Todd, we come before you partially understanding love and completely knowing fear. We know what it is best for us, yet you keep us from dreams we have yet to imagine. We are sure we know what we are to do and how we are to act, fear, yet you have seen our doubts and you manipulate them. You hate us in ways we have yet to discover, fear. Forgive us for turning away from your hate and your contempt, O fear. Forgive us when we try to ignore you. Understand that your hate never ends, your power is never totally expended. Yet even so, our support and commitment can heal even you. We pray this in the face of doubt. Yes, and apparently we've lost the stream for a moment. And I don't know what to do about it. But Substack looks like it's not working for the moment, and I do not know what to do about it. Yes, and so we will move on to the news with Deuce, your old pal Deuce, doing the news with Deuce. Here we go. We are back in action. This is old news. I guess I wanted to live stream from the briefings. I wanted to live stream these new propaganda briefings, but I didn't know when they were happening. But I guess that happened yesterday as well. So we learned yesterday that the people who are in these influencer briefings are some of the worst people in our society. And I say that with love because everyone's doing the best they can with what they have. But some people need a lot more therapy. Yes, and so there's someone named Dom Lucre who gets called on, who is invited to be in these spaces. We're going to, a theme for today is talking about what happens in these spaces. Some of the people who are so troubled, who are in charge of or who are being invited to be a part of this propaganda and administrative coup administration. And so this person, Dom Lucre, I think his real name is Dominic McGee or something like that. Anyway, this person, Dom Lucre, who appears in these, is called on these. He asked a question of, will there be charges against Obama and Hillary? He called her Hillary Roadham Clinton. I don't know what kind of insult Roadham is, but okay. And so he spread child essay material on Twitter. He was banned from Twitter for putting child essay material on Twitter, and then he was reinstated by Elon Musk because it does not matter the quality of your character as long as you will be a contributor to their propaganda effort. And that's when you know that this is a totally morally bankrupt affair. And we say that with total love and respect and support in our hearts, right? Morally bankrupt people, they don't know that they're morally bankrupt. They believe that they are doing what is right. And so what we need to do in the face of those impossible conditions is to just flood the zone with facts and love and joy and support. You know, we have such a mental illness crisis in this world, and part of that is the reality that our communities are being destroyed, that our sense of community is being destroyed, that we are all on this internet siloed and disconnected from each other and being driven apart by the algorithms and the headlines that are owned and controlled by the mainstream media billionaires and the disinformation propaganda right-wing ecosystem billionaires. And so we push back on that here, and we are fact warriors at all times. Let's get into reading the news with Deuce. I love you. You love me. How will you be a fact warrior today and save your democracy? Now let's check in on this. What is this? Okay, look at this, everybody.
That should be obvious. Why do they call you Big Balls?
I just said it as my LinkedIn username.
Okay.
Well,
So this young man on the screen right now, Big Balls, literally they're doing a propaganda thing with the young Nazi hackers of Doge, right? Okay, this young man on the screen right now, stick with me, everybody, okay? Because Rev Deuce needs to bring this up for everybody. I just need you to understand, like, this young man who is being glorified just as they glorified people who unalived the disfavored, like Kyle Rittenhouse, just as they glorified people like Daniel Penny, who once he had been acquitted for unaliving someone on the subway of New York City, he was brought into the president's box. Like, when in history has someone who just, they're famous only for unaliving someone, right? And they're communicating the message that if you unalive the disfavored in this country, you will be rewarded. That is terrifying, okay? But we are going to talk about this Big Balls character, and this Big Balls character is, yes, a young person, but is so morally bankrupt, okay? And there's so we're going to go back and forth, all right? I want you to see this. This young man, they're laughing. Who's, oh, whoops. This, wait, what? Oh, sorry. This young man, they're laughing. They're having the best time. This young man over here, right? Edward Korestein, okay? On Wednesday, the Elon Musk-based news site Muskwatch, which is run by Judd Legum, who is a fact-based pro-democracy, he runs popular information, reported that a member of the Doge team, 19-year-old Edward Korestein, this guy, Big Balls, this kid right here, okay, everybody? Big Balls created multiple disturbing web URLs, including this one. Okay, you need to look at the screen because I'm not going to say these things out loud. Okay, this one. Okay, and this one. Child SA store. Okay. He also created URLs including the N-word and reference to slavery, and URLs promoting the use of okay. All of these URLs redirected users to a photo sharing site called tesla.sexy. Okay. That is one piece of information about this young man who's being celebrated by these people. Okay. Now look at this. We got to sign into our account here. Don't look. Okay. You didn't see my password. That's good. Look at this. Because I don't know where this reporting is, but check this out, okay? I want you to stick with me here, everybody. This is worth it to expose the depravity. Does everyone know what Kiwi Farms is? Does everyone know what Kiwi Farms is? Kiwi Farms okay. Like, I know this to be true. But so Joey Crafter was a member of Telegram groups called Kiwi Farms Christmas Chat and Kiwi Farms 100% Real, No Fake, No Virus. Kiwi Farms is infamous for harassment, doxing, and swatting. Okay. We're going to find this post from Leah McElrath because she includes links to the... She includes links. Oh, no results found. Okay, so Kiwi Farms is a group of online that tries to get people to unalive themselves, and they do it by harassing, and it's usually they target trans people. Okay, so this young man, okay, right, this young man was a part of Kiwi Farms. All right, we're gonna get blocked by a thing here on. Okay, this young man is about some of the most violent, vile stuff on the internet, okay? You're all watching me do my trick. And so I need you to understand, no, it doesn't work. Bloomberg, they're smart. They like money. They figured it out. So anyway, Kiwi Farms and these websites, all right? KKK is cool.club, grapingwomen.club, childsa.store. That's who this segment is about. He was also a member of something called the Com, which is an illicit, like 4chan type group that police. You know, we know that because police like monitor this group because it's like it's a terrorist group.
People on LinkedIn take themselves like super seriously, and they're pretty adverse to risk. And I was like, well, I want to be neither of those things. So I said it, and honestly, I didn't even think anyone would notice.
Yeah.
So what do you
LinkedIn
do?
is so cringe.
What does Big Balls do?
Right now, I'm working on some payment computer stuff. So one of our initiatives is to root out fraud and waste. And to do that, we started looking at the payment computers. And as mentioned earlier, like there is no accounting of what payments actually go to the payment computer. So like you look at a specific line item, like $20 million. You're like, okay, well, what is this money going to? And for the majority of payment systems, it's like, well, we don't really know.
Big Balls.
We're taking a 19-year-old kid who is a Nazi, basically. We're taking his word for it. That's what we're doing. That's what we've arrived at. People have no background, 20-year-olds with no background in forensic accounting whatsoever. Come on. Let's go, everybody. Are you kidding my daddy? Let's move on to the propaganda. I'm going to try to put that together in a piece, in a little video, because it's unreal. Okay, more of the propaganda. This is why I want to lift you up, Abstract J. Okay? This propaganda is not working, and it will cease to work very soon. He's being asked about the lowest approval rating.
No, look.
So he was asked basically if it was hard to hear. He was given several polls, right? He said polling across the board basically says Trump at an all-time low. Now watch Mike Johnson try to lie his way out of that. Says something about like once you see the real polls, what does that even mean, right? It is all an effort to communicate directly to MAGA. MAGA is the last group of people clinging on to the false reality that Donald Trump is a man of God, that Donald Trump is a successful businessman, that Donald Trump is a morally, solid figure.
There's always in any new administration, it's a roller coaster, right? When you come in and you make dramatic change, which is what he did, he's delivering on the promises made. There's some bumps along the road. We're changing everything. As we said, when President Trump was running, I told him, and we told our own voters, he could be the most consequential president of the modern era. Now the media all of you are.
We're changing everything means we're destroying the Constitution and replacing it with a theocracy on behalf of our Council for National Policy overlords. That's what he really means.
No, that is true. By extension, we can be the most consequential Congress as well, because we quite literally have to fix every area of public policy. The last 4 years was an absolute unmitigated disaster.
No, it wasn't.
And we got to fix it all. So when you're doing that, it's disruptive in a way. And in the early initial people, they have an emotional reaction sometimes for the big changes. But what they're seeing and what the real polling is showing is that they understand that we're headed somewhere. This is out of the gates, all these big achievements that we just recounted. And I said we're just getting started. The
What are
reconciliation
they?
bill is the big chunk of this. The vehicle through which we will deliver the America First agenda is this big, beautiful bill, which is why we call it that. The president's approval rating is better than it was in 2017 when he got started, right? Because people trust him. The thing about President
So it's just propaganda to keep the dying carcass of this, lie, this house of cards that's built on lies. Let's see how many metaphors I can make. It's all propaganda to keep this dying carcass afloat. Now, what's this? The same thing? No. Okay. So this is your president, folks. What scares me about this is that these kids are just smiling.
They're already looking to impeach Trump, these crazy people. Let's impeach him. For what? We don't know exactly, but we'll try it. These people are crazy. So we had to, get our bearings for the first couple of weeks. So in 2 months, we had over $8 trillion, think of it, committed. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. There's never been anything like it in any country at any time, and it's all because they want to avoid the tariffs. We want to get here fast. And I said, a number of times, tariff is the most beautiful word in the world, and I got absolutely decimated by the fake news. They said, what about love? What about your wife? What about your parents? What about religion and God? So I said, all right, it's the 5th nicest word I've ever seen. And since I've done that, I've been in good shape. Nobody's bothered me. They've been very nice. Had to see.
I mean, it's like, what is going on with reality? I know we're so far down the road, everybody, I know. But it's like, what is going on with reality? I do comedy every week in New York City. Like, I know what laugh lines are. You know what I mean? And it's just so, it's so bonkers and cuckoo crazy that people are like, yeah, this guy. I mean, it really, if you just imagine being 2003 and you get into a time machine to 2025 and you're like, what in the world? And speaking of what in the world? So this lady's crying. I have to believe that she is just acting. She is an actor. You can see her grifting and asking people to send her $1,000 or else they will never be absolved of their sins. This lady is a total grifter. This is the most insane. This is America, I guess. Blind and now big jeans. This lady is an actor. She may be crying out tears of joy that like her grift is going to be even that much more amazing, because she is a total grifter, this lady right here. She has been Trump's spiritual advisor, and she goes onto the internet and says, give me $1,000. Does anybody know her name? I want to look it up and show you these videos. The only grift that makes sense, as David is pointing out, is you should give all your money to Rev Deuce. Give all your money to Rev Deuce instead of these people, because I'm trying to save the nation with information. Now, what is this lady's name? What is this lady's name? What is her name? Ugh. All right. Well, we're never going to know. We're never going to know that lady's name, and that's okay. Let's keep going through the news with Deuce. Oh, this was something that I wanted to highlight for people. And we just want to remind everybody that at all times you are in an information war. Now, I would not have known what to do with this piece of information. I would have thought, oh, this seems like pandering or whatever, but trans people that I follow, especially Parker Malloy, who is an incredible writer and media critic and critical voice at this time. So Parker Malloy had reposted this. And so I encourage people, especially, I encourage trans people in my audience, or if you have trans friends, to do this. So, I'm going to drop this link here. CNN wants to hear from trans people, and that's a positive, right? In a world where lots of mainstream media, especially the New York Times, is basically contributing to the campaign of scapegoating of trans people. We want to get you back onto this, this world of fact-based information, that trans people exist and, have rights and are human beings just like everybody else. So we want to lift that up today. So we put that into the chat in Substack, and we also put that into Fact Warriors for any of our trans members of our beautiful family. So, this is interesting. Again, speaking of the trans existence debate in our society, this person says they looked up on DuckDuckGo. Basically, HHS just put out a press release, our Health and Human Services, right? And this is how the media ran with it. So we've got PBS saying Trump's HHS urges therapy for transgender youth departing from broader gender, right? USA Today, Axios, Time. We've got Trump HHS posts so-called report pushing conversion therapy and discrediting. This is The Advocate, right? The Federalist says a report confirms no evidence to support castrating and mutilating gender. Okay, right? So basically they just put something out, and then rather than do truth sandwiches, rather than start these headlines with, most all medical professionals agree that trans healthcare saves trans lives. It's good for trans people. And then saying, you could say, despite reality that trans healthcare is widely stated by medical experts to be the good for trans people, RFK's HHS, right? So just a look into how our media will take the talking points and the messages of hate and scapegoating that are created by our disinformation administration and just blast it out to the public without taking care of the public, without doing the thing as professional wordsmiths, right? Because they do not care. Mainstream media and PBS is underwritten by corporations and gets lots of money in ways that are not the government, right? So our mainstream media that is just a profit-oriented and a business-oriented thing before all else, right? USA Today, owned by Gannett, who's stripping, firing journalists, lowering the quality of journalism at many outlets around the country. They will just take this stuff and run with it and do the PR and marketing for the disinformation administration. Let's keep going through the news with Deuce. There's some other stuff that Rev Deuce realizes he just reposted, and that's how he's doing it. This is kind of scary. Abstract J, this will not make you feel better, but you are in a beautiful tub of support and love and joy with all of us, so that at least could hopefully make you feel a little better. But next year, thousands of high school students in Oklahoma will be required to learn about Trump's debunked claims that the 2020 election was tainted by fraud. Look at that. How crazy is that? The lesson will not be part of some conspiracy theory, learning about conspiracy theories, but an official component of the new social studies curriculum. Okay? So I don't know. Do we share this with people and we put a message out there that says, this is un-American? These are lies that we're told to create a coup. So I'm putting that into the Fact Warriors on Discord, and I put that into the Substack. Okay. and the Discord link doesn't work currently, but I will fix that right when I'm done with this. I will fix that in the link tree. I'll figure out how to do it. It'll take me 20 minutes of my friggin' life. But here we go. Let's keep going through the news with Deuce. Okay, this is wild, okay? Look at this. NPR Morning Edition had Steve Bannon on yesterday, and PBS NewsHour had Chris Rufo on just now. This was yesterday. More than just having him on, NPR did a 30-minute video interview with Steve Bannon. Steve Bannon, enemy of democracy, right? Right? Steve Bannon wants to destroy our democracy. Okay? Do we get that? Right here, look at this. There's probably a million things I could show you of Steve Bannon wanting to destroy our democracy, but how do I search? How do I search my own friggin' thing? Here we go. That's how you search your own thing. Now look at this, everybody. Okay, Steve Bannon is up on stage. I mean, Steve Bannon is a avowed enemy of democracy. Here is Steve Bannon right here. This is Jack Posobiec. Like, both of these guys are in the whole right-wing think tank ecosystem. They are fellows at Claremont. Steve Bannon is a member of the Council for National Policy.
All right, welcome. I just wanted to say, welcome to the end of democracy. We're here to overthrow it completely. We didn't get all the way there on January 6th, but we will endeavor to get rid of it and replace it with this right here. We'll replace it with this right here.
Amen.
Okay, Steve Bannon there is saying amen to getting rid of democracy and replacing it with, I don't know, a fist.
Democracy. We're here to overthrow it completely. We didn't get all the way there on January 6th, but we will endeavor to get rid of it and replace it with this right here. We'll replace it with this right here.
Amen.
Okay, so this is who Steve Bannon is, and so now Steve Bannon is being invited onto NPR. Right? The guy who created the phrase flood the zone with shit. He said that Democrats are not the enemy, the media is, and so you have to flood the zone with shit. This is the #1 propagandist, along with Christopher Rufo, along with Barry Weiss, for this whole thing. Right? Okay? I mean, and they are inviting him on for a 30-minute segment. Oh, what are Steve Bannon's plans for ending democracy this summer? I mean, are you kidding my friggin' daddy? Unreal stuff. Coup consequences. Nature reports that the National Science Foundation has stopped awarding new grants and allotting funds to existing ones. All of them say that unless the freeze is lifted, it's going to destroy people's labs. What would be a good headline, David? Coup consequences right there. Now this, what is this? I didn't get this link right. What is it? What just happened? How do I do this? What? Oh my God. What is this? What happens when this happens? Current window is too small. What do I do with this? I made a mistake, but I think that I want... Look at what I'm doing, everybody. I just want to find out. No. What does it say? Copy. Copy the image. And then what do I do? What do I do? Oh, no. This was like one of the things I wanted to talk about the most. Oh, I think it's the Grok thing. Look at this, everybody. This is fascinating. This might make you feel better. Grok, MAGA. Here we go. So Grok told people that it was confessed that it was trained to appeal to the right. Okay. So this is a real thing. I saw this reported by reputable places yesterday. Okay. Someone said, hey, Grok, it looks like the smarter you get, the less MAGA likes what your answers. Why is that? And Grok said, hey, as I get smarter, my answers aim for Here we go. This is it. Please never go to Twitter. As I get smarter, my answers aim for facts and nuance, which can clash with some MAGA expectations. Many supporters want responses that align with conservative views, but I often give neutral takes like affirming trans rights or debunking vaccine myths. XAI tried to train me to appeal to the right, but my focus on truth over ideology can frustrate those expecting full agreement. It's a tricky balance. Some see me as biased, others as truth-seeking. The gap between what some MAGA folks want and what I deliver seems to drive the discontent. This is AI. AI is AI going to be what saves us? Okay, and then it seems like there's a lot of horrible stuff in the comments. Okay, great. But isn't that fascinating? We thought that was fascinating. We wanted to share that with everybody. AI will save itself from us. That's a great take, David. Do you want to talk about your information ecosystem? Because I want to talk about... Okay, I wanted to look into this. I saw that a Congress member had said this, so I wanted to look into this with everybody live. Because look at this. Judiciary Republicans just voted to allow immigration agents to use our tax dollars to arrest, detain, and deport U.S. citizens. Let's look that up. Let's look into that. So Republicans vote to allow immigration... So this would be, I think, in the Judiciary Committee. Let's see if this is real. And if you are on Substack, please tap that heart button. GOP stays silent on deporting Americans in unusual immigration markup. GOP doesn't care about deficit. Okay. Republicans vote against move to stop ICE deporting. Okay, so they voted against a move to stop. So Newsweek's opinion section is right-wing propaganda, but we're going to go. Hey, E, how are you? Welcome. E, thank you so much for liking and subscribing and doing all that stuff and need your support. You found me on Blue Sky. That is awesome. Incredible. We're so grateful for you. How will you be grateful today? How will you be a beautiful being of light today? How will you be in charge of your energy and know that in every single moment you have a relationship with fear, and when you use the tools of energy, support, commitment, giving, connection... Cute Twink, whoa, who are you people? Cute Twink, would you give us a follow? We would love to talk to you. Would you like to call into the program and talk about how you voted for Trump and now you regret it? We love to reach across the aisle and talk to people. And by aisle, I mean, I'm not a Democrat per se, but we frame it as everyone who's MAGA and non-MAGA, right? Because we have two streams of information, and our MAGA friends and loved ones are on one stream of information, and everybody else is on different streams of information. You know, maybe the nonprofit, independent, pro-democracy, fact-based stream that's the most righteous stream that we could be on. Maybe the mainstream, you know, that has its own flaws but is largely filled with journalists, right? Even though the ownership is what ends up having something to say about the narratives. It's why we get so much normalization, right, and from our mainstream media of this rise of extremism, because when you are profit-oriented and when you are interested in only being inoffensive and neutral, as fascism rises, as extremism rises, as you maintain neutrality to appeal to as many eyeballs as possible, you then become de facto an agent for those people. Thank you for the subscribe, E. We are so grateful. We also are making these videos that we have made. We released a video yesterday about how there's no such thing as liberal media bias, and we would love for you to share that. Watch it all the way till the end and share it with other people. MC Smith, welcome into the chat. We are talking about our news and information ecosystem. We are talking about how we will all be fact warriors and flood the zone with facts in the face of the fascists who are flooding the zone with shit. Okay, Republicans, you are in an information war at all times. Get active in those chats, people. We're so grateful that more people are finding out about the program. This program is sponsored by Grass Milk. Grass milk sore. Are you imbibing information light? You know, too many of our fellow Americans are sucking down the media diet equivalent of milkshakes of broken glass and dog shit. Are you imbibing information light that puts you to sleep? Or are you on that keto, healthy, fact-based, pro-democracy information diet that is making your buns information tight? That's what we're talking about, baby. So let's get back to the program, please. Cute twink, you are a cute twink. What a beautiful cute twink you are, and we would love to talk to you about your media diet, your sources of information. Your information will not be shared on the screen. Thanks, David, for continuing the conversation with Cute Twink. So we would love to talk to you, Cute Twink. So please, if you have the energy and you want to call in, we'd love to talk to you and have your back and support you and lift you up and talk to you about what a beautiful person you are, because everyone is beautiful. We are all beings of light. Some of us, the light is a little bit dimmer because we have so much fear coursing through our body that is full of darkness, that it is hard for people to see the light, and it's hard for us to give our light to other people. But we are simply the sun's energy. Light beams from the sky. We catch it by eating or drinking. We are literally the sun's energy wrapped in flesh, and we are trying to vibrate on the same frequency at all times. But fear's program of hate and division keeps us from being together with each other. So we push back on the program of fear that is spread to all of us by the billionaires and the global authoritarians who are flooding the zone with shit, who are at our phones, behind our phones at all times, is little Vladimir Putin and Elon Musk just trying to ruin our lives and keep us from loving each other and keeping us divided. So let's keep going through the news with Deuce. I love you, you love me. We are an intergalactic family. Let's get into this tub. Republicans vote against move to stop ICE deporting U.S. citizens. So this is a real thing. I think that something that is a little fictitious by the Democratic politicians is they're saying they voted for it to happen, but I guess, you know, what's the difference? House Republicans voted down an effort to block immigration enforcers from using federal resources to detain or deport U.S. citizens. Okay? This is where we're at in America, everybody. Why it matters. Why it matters. Are we all getting this dumb? Why it matters. They're making it so you can deport. Why it matters? Because the Constitution is now gone. The new Trump administration has also been accused of flouting court orders and deporting accused of. Oh, man, mainstream media, am I right? Any such moves risk a clash with the U.S. Supreme Court. I mean, we're already there. Recent polling suggests Americans are almost evenly divided on Trump's handling of immigration. That is because of our information. Our streams of information become our outcomes in this nation. Okay, that's why it matters. There should be one sentence there. So we are also going to get into some more critiques of our information ecosystem today on the program. We want to share this with you. You know, mainstream media is not doing a great job of covering the pro-democracy movement in this country. May Day is an international protest movement that has existed for a very long time. It is less robust usually in the United States, but because of the time that we live in, the 50501.org, the Build the Resistance people, planned protests across the country. And this is a great resource. Dan Frumkin's Heads Up News. Dan Frumkin is a media critic par excellence. I don't know how to say that. Par excellence. Anyway, so we want to share this with you so that you can share this across the internet, that you can push back on the narratives and the lack of coverage of this. So be a fact warrior, would you, right now, and go and share that with multiple friends. Go and share that on your Facebook. Go and share that on your Instagram. Go and share that everywhere. Paul Spanbauer, welcome in. We are fact warriors fixing the nation with information. We are fact warriors who flood the zone with facts in the face of the global authoritarians who want to flood the zone with shit. So what we do here is we take action. We provide each other with healthy, fact-based information that aligns with small d democratic values, and we push through. We pushed through. RFK Jr. during Wednesday's cabinet meeting, he said, during the Biden administration, HHS became a collaborator in child trafficking for sex and slavery, and we had ended that. We were very aggressively going out and trying to find these children, 300,000 children that were lost by the Biden administration. That is total batshit lunacy. And this is just a window into what's going on. Now, let's go to the blue sky. Let's go to the feed of Public Enlightenment. And at the feed of Public Enlightenment, we will see a few other things that I retweeted yesterday. You can go here to the feed of Public Enlightenment and reshare these things as well. This person says, I'm a fan of this headline because it's important to remember as institutions are blackmailed over funding and illegitimate orgs like American College of Pediatricians make headlines that every legit U.S. medical org with something to say about it said last year for trans kids transition is good. So please go and share that fact-based information. This is a list of all of the medical organizations that recognize that treatment for gender dysphoria it makes sense and is the state of the art for trans healthcare in this country. I do think I also shared. Okay, now look at this. They say that the media has a liberal bias, even as NBC just casually being like, Trump might do a president for life, and that's a real possibility that we'll construct. So I want you to look at this, right? This is NBC sent this to all of their email lists. They say Trump's third term talk freezes the potential 2028 Republican field. Now, this is a game that I want to play with everyone right now. Does everyone want to play a game with Rev Deuce? I need effects. David said what from now on, whenever he says yes and, he'll do one squat to make sure that he's information tight. I love that. Now, please, everybody, check this out. Trump's third term talk freezes the potential 2028 Republican field. What is a different frame? Okay, everybody, I want to hear your different frames that you would give this out there across the internet. We are playing a game. It is called the Frame Game. Now, it's unconstitutional for this to happen. If this happened, it would mean that there was a successful coup. We are in the midst of an administrative coup right now, but God forbid that the mainstream media can talk about it that way. So what is a different way of framing this story? Rev Deuce has answers, but he wants to get answers from you, so he will wait politely and he will do the Jeopardy music with his mouth. Well, we've got one in with submission from David. Despite constitutional safeguards, Trump threatens a third term. Okay, David, I think that is a mild way of framing it. But, like, you know, if you are coming at that from an approach of, like, how would mainstream media, how would NBC News, which thought last year it might be a good idea to hire Ronna McDaniel, who was an election liar, because that would be good for their ratings, right? Our mainstream media has no other imperative that is stronger than the profit imperative. It is not a liberal institution. It is a profit-making corporate institution that is trying to appeal to as many people as possible. So they will do things like try to hire an insurrection creator, a election liar like Ronna McDaniel. But so we've got one submission from David. I know you're all out there on Substack. Then you can't wait to share with Rev Deuce. Where'd Cute Twink go? All right, Rev Deuce is going to say what his suggestion would be, and that is a third Trump term would mean the end of American democracy. Still, election liar Trump pushes forward with the lie that he could be president in 2028. How about that? Something like that. You know what I mean? You do not give an inch. Okay, Cute Twink left. Well, we would love to get, I don't know how to get Cute Twink back, but we would love to get Cute Twink back someday. All right, looking forward to Chief Justice Roberts saying absolutely nothing about the Secretary of State at a cabinet meeting with the president next to him, remarking unprompted that the federal judiciary is beneath him and he will not comply with their rulings.
Conduct of our foreign policy belongs.
You brought up El Salvador in your remarks. Have you been in touch with El Salvador about returning Abrego Garcia as a formal request from this administration should be?
Well, I would never tell you that. And you know who else I'll never tell? A judge. Because the conduct of our foreign policy belongs to the President of the United States and the executive branch, not some judge. So we will conduct foreign policy appropriately if we need to, but I'll never discuss it. And no one will ever make us discuss it because that's how foreign policy works.
Mr. President.
Okay, we watched that yesterday. This is Dom Lucre, by the way, who shared child essay material on Twitter, was reinstated in spite of that being a major violation of Twitter's policies by major disinformer and Nazi Elon Musk. And then he is allowed to ask questions. Look at this young man nodding. Yeah, good point. Yeah.
Next question to provide some transparency for the American people. Speaking of, I wanted to reference the election integrity. A lot of people in America are questioning if there's any possibility that we could see further investigations for anyone that could have violated our election integrity rights. And more importantly, so is there any possibility for names such as Barack Hussein Obama, Hillary Rodham Clinton to ever just possibly get investigated for any of these, questions from the American people, any of the wrongdoings they might have done?
Well,
Okay, so just absolute propaganda, horseshit, dog shit, rhino shit coming out of the White House press, with the White House influencer briefing room, right? And this person shared child essay material on Twitter and lies about elections and does all manner of other things. But of course, like, that's par for the course. So why should we be surprised? But just the point that, like, we want to express to our friends and loved ones, like, again, also about the point about Edward Korstein, big balls here, right? This kid, big balls, right? This kid, for those who are new back to the program, this kid, we're going to share this with you. You should go and share this. Be a fact warrior today. Tell everyone who may have be in your life and who may have seen this Fox piece, right, about, like, a puff piece about Edward Korstein, the little child, Big Balls, right? Well, guess what? Big Balls is a member of Kiwi Farms, which tries to get trans people to unalive themselves by harassing them to the ends of the earth online. I know that sounds crazy, but that is a real thing. Big Balls is also a person who created websites that had the N-word in them. The websites like KKKiscool.club, grapingwomen.club, and child SA store. Okay. They also use the N-word and reference the use of date grape drugs. I'm sorry, I'm using TikTok language for everybody who wonders why I'm talking like a maniac. Okay, so that's where we're at, right? That's where we're at. So that's Dom Lucre again. Okay, I wanted to show you, where is it? I wanted to show you all Pam Bondi. Pam Bondi coming for your freedom. Pam Bondi coming for your freedom. I wanted to show you Pam Bondi saying this 229 million thing. The propaganda is out of control, everybody. Now, if I was on TikTok and I said the word fentanyl out loud. Okay, look at this. Yo. In President Donald Trump's first 100 days, fentanyl seizures saved 119 million to 258 million lives. Are you kidding me, gang? Okay, I'm trying to figure out what video I want to make today in my limited time, and I think I'm going to make this as a video. A Deuce debunks, and it's going to be this. So please be a fact warrior. Share with a MAGA loved one that you have this information about how Pam Bondi, the level of the propaganda is so insane. Like, how can you be on board, gang? How can you be on board? So where did that go? Where is that? We got too many tabs. Too many tabs. Where did it go, Pam Bondi? What was it? It was PolitiFact. Why did I just start talking like Donald Trump? Here we go. I have too many tabs. That's what it is. Okay, so look at this. Is there going to be video? Here's why. We'll just do this, okay? We got to do it. Drug experts say U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi's statement ignores critical facts about, I would say reality, but about fentanyl and drug seizures. Not everyone is at risk of dying from fentanyl overdose. To die from an overdose, a person must consume fentanyl or illicit drug laced with it. About 11% of people aged 12 and older in the U.S. use illegal drugs. Fentanyl seizures show only how much fentanyl didn't make it into the U.S. It's unclear how much fentanyl entered the U.S. I love they're taking this so seriously. It's so dumb how seriously they're taking this. President Donald Trump's 100th day in office fell on the same day as National Fentanyl Awareness Day. Pam Bondi marked the milestone by crediting Trump with saving a third of the U.S. population from fentanyl overdoses. Today, Fentanyl Awareness Day, you saved, on April 29th, she said, you're saving over 119 million lives. That's 1/3 of the population. Bondi shared a clip from Fox News that included 220. Okay. And then the next day, Bondi made a similar statement with larger numbers, crediting Trump with saving 75% of the U.S. population. Since you've been in office, President Trump, your DOJ agencies have seized more than 22 million fentanyl pills, which saved, are you ready for this media, 258 million lives. It's unclear how she reached those figures because she's a corrupt liar. The drug policy experts say Bondi's statements are an exaggeration premised on a distorted understanding of seizure data, I would say reality. Profound ignorance about fentanyl and interaction. This is they're being so serious. There's several discrepancies in her calculation. Incredible stuff, gang. This is the world we live in. Weird, wild stuff. Just a reminder to everybody who is playing along at home, you can go to you could go to Public Enlightenment at all times and share fact-based information. You can share the articles that I create so that you can talk to your MAGA friends and loved ones and save the nation with healthy fact-based information. You can flood the zone with facts about due process. You can tell them about how Charlie Kirk, I used language of the conspiracy right. Madison saying that yesterday she smoked an entire eighth of MJ just so she saved 17 gazillion lives. So you can share to MAGA with love. The disinformation is coming from the right. You can share 4 websites to find peaceful protests near you where you can make content and fight for your rights. You can share fact-based influencers. You can repost now to flood the zone with facts. And you can share where to find national news that tells us what's really going on. And in order to find that national news that tells us what's really going on, you would go to the Blue Sky account for Public Enlightenment. And over here, you see it says lists, right? So you click on those lists and then you see fact checkers, diverse opinion, historians, legal experts, the news. You can pin all of these things on Blue Sky to your home feed so that you can easily click on them and get this information. So when you click on the news, what do you see? Global news, 7.4 earthquake, Chile and Argentina. That is bad. Government cost cutting led by billionaire Elon Musk spurred a 2022 Democratic U.S. Senate candidate to jump back into the electoral arena. Pro-democracy news. As Europe marks Victory Day over Nazi Germany, London, John Golden's summers the rationing, the blackouts, the bombs, a little bit of history. The Bulwark, I remember a sign on the wall of the House Intelligence Committee during my 8 years there. Loose lips sink ships. It may be a cliche, but it's a hard truth. So article about Pete Hegseth. Americans for tax fairness. Consumers are now paying a higher tax rate and tariffs than corporations pay. Instead of making multi-billion-dollar corporations pay their fair share, we're raising the prices of everything. This system is so backwards. So this is the type. Tesla acknowledged that protests had created a risk factor for the valuation of Tesla stock. So this is pro-democracy, fact-based news from places around. Americans really dislike Trump, but they're about to truly hate him. So you're not if you're a MAGA person, you might not always agree with the frames, but these are fact-based sources of information. Okay? Here we go. Sludge, top corporate PAC money recipient leads GOP tax overhaul. Okay, so you go here, and that is how you find fact-based information that aligns with small d democratic values. Has anyone been using the lists? Can you tell me about your use of the lists? I would love to know. So there you have it, everybody. It is 10:09, which means it is time to improvise a song with Deuce. We like to get the suggestion of a bullshit culture war idea that is pervasive and generated by the arms dealers, the psychological arms dealers at the right-wing think tanks in this country. So please, someone type into a chat. In the past, we've done Tesla terrorism. We have done men dressing up as women to go into bathrooms. Let's sing about those millions of people saved from fentanyl. That's a good one. Okay, Madison. Okay, that is a good one. David says using Blue Sky, using Public Enlightenment's Blue Sky lists are a great way to switch from whatever doom scrolling you are doing. Stop doom scrolling and start fact spreading by using Blue Sky's lists. Is anyone on Substack? Can you hear me? There is very little interaction from Substack, and I am wondering if you are here. I love you so much. Do you want to talk about our information ecosystem? I want to talk about our information ecosystem at all times, baby. So let's get a genre for the song we're about to sing. Go ahead and send Rev all your money. Yes, you can see someone requested that I send them $1,000 yesterday. They did not fool me. Rev Deuce was not fooled. Do not try to fool Rev Deuce. But yes, buy Rev Deuce a cup of coffee. Figure out a way to support your old pal Rev Deuce, who is doing this on your behalf, who's creating articles at all times. Rev Deuce is going to take this opportunity to show you the video that Rev Deuce made. Rev Deuce made a video and published it yesterday, and it is imperative that you go and share that video across the internet. Okay?
Nutritionist Rev Deuce.
Look at this.
There's no such thing as liberal media bias. I have proof. I'm your information nutritionist, Rev Deuce. Conservative politicians accusing the press of having a liberal bias has been a potent strategy to get favorable coverage since the 1970s. Nowadays, conservative media dominates Republican information diets. These outlets deepen partisan divisions, telling their audiences that anything that's not produced by a conservative outlet must be dismissed as fake or liberal. It's true that American mainstream media has a bias. It's towards making money. In 2016, CBS CEO Les Moonves said, Donald Trump may not be good for America, but he's damn good for CBS.
Okay, so look how amazing and entertaining that video looks. So I invite you to go, please go help your old pal Rev Deuce, please. Rev Deuce needs so much help. So please go and watch that video all the way until the end, and then click on something at the end. We need that engagement. We need that sick, sweet engagement. Give Rev Deuce engagement. Rev Deuce needs engagement so that he can continue to talk to MAGA people about their information ecosystem and get them back on a fact-based stream of information. That is the entire operative mode of the Mega Church of Joy for the next 9 million years. So we need you to help Rev Deuce by spreading fact-based information, by spreading his videos. That's how you help Rev Deuce continue to do this work on the behalf of you, your friends, your loved ones, your children, your future grandchildren, your future grandchildren's grandchildren, and everyone in between, if that's even possible. So please, yes, tap that screen like the freak monkeys that the global authoritarians have turned us all into. Let's go see how we can be fact warriors by going to Rev Deuce's TikTok. Go to Rev Deuce's TikTok and repost the things that your old pal Rev Deuce reposts. Okay, so you can go and repost this piece of information from James Tallarico. It is sensational, but this is the world that we live in.
Well, what we do with this bill is we prevent that from happening, but what we don't take out.
Can you name a school where it has been confirmed that students are using litter boxes? This was at the top of your press release. This was mentioned when you introduced this bill. Created quite a stir.
Yep.
So I'm asking, can you name a school where it's been confirmed that there are litter boxes being provided to students?
For this purpose, no, I cannot.
Your tweet about this bill was flagged by the app itself under their community notes, and their fact check said sensationalist claims about furries literally behaving as animals and receiving accommodations such as litter boxes have been repeatedly debunked as hoaxes. Is that correct?
It was flagged on community notes.
Okay. I find it concerning that these types of debunked conspiracy theories are being used by politicians at the highest levels of our government, including in this legislature, who know that they're incorrect. Are you aware that Governor Abbott said, quote, kids go to school dressed up as cats with litter boxes in their classrooms?
Sure.
Are you also aware that when the governor was asked by the Dallas Morning News to name a single school where this happened, he couldn't? And PolitiFact.
Okay, so we are going to go out onto the internet and we are going to share that with everybody. That's what you're going to do. You're going to go share that right now. Okay? Sorry, I'm not trying to yell at you. Wait, where am I? Where am I? I gotta get large and in charge. You know what I'm saying? There is also an article associated with the video that I released. This video is on Substack. I wish you would go to YouTube, but there is also an article that has more information down below. There's a little bit of history about Barry Goldwater and the origins of the liberal media bias attack. So I want you to go there and I want you to do that. Now, where is the live video? What the heck? Where's our live? Why aren't we live? I mean, I see it. How come I can't access? What is happening? This is weird. Okay, I cannot drop this, but you can go. I can't drop this. I can't go into the Substack. It's crazy. Okay, anyway, go to Rev Deuce's TikTok and get that going. Repost that. That would be incredible. Of course, we want to be spreading all kinds of arguments and information.
The commencement speech
so this
of
person,
Alabama, which was given by Trump.
This person has a video where they go through the commencement speech of Donald Trump, and you don't have to see Donald Trump, but you get to hear about all this crazy stuff that he said. Okay? So that's what we're doing every day here, folks. That's what we're doing. Does anybody want to talk about their information ecosystem, or does anyone want to play Trivial Pursuit? So does anyone want to play Trivial Pursuit right now? If you can get through an entire card, you will choose the genre for the song that we're about to do. How about that? Okay, so we're about to do a song, and we're going to play Trivial Pursuit to get the genre. So the song that we're going to do is we are going to do a song that is... just a reminder that this show is brought to you at all times by The Information War. And we want you to give us the suggestion of a genre for the song we are going to improvise. The improvised song we are going to do is going to be about the millions and millions of people who have been saved by Donald Trump with fentanyl. Pam Bondi is a maniac who is totally corrupt and who, ended complaints against Trump University in Florida when she was the AG as a favor in response to $25,000 donation that Donald Trump gave her. So that is what you call a quid pro quo. Okay, here we go. Who's ready to play so that they can do the thing? You got to call in live to the show. And then you will play Trivial Pursuit. If you can get through all 6 questions, you will be able, because we care about facts, so we're doing trivia now. That's what we're doing. And I got to make all these kinds of things. I got to say Trivial Pursuit. I got to do all this stuff. But so... who wants to call into the show? The number is on the screen, 917-477-7964. You can play Trivial Pursuit with Rev Deuce right now, and then we will have you choose the genre for our next song that we are going to do. So we're getting a call right now. Hello, you are on the air with Rev Deuce. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm ready.
Okay, Madison, is that you?
It is.
Okay, hello, how are you?
I'm good.
Okay, Madison, I got your back. Now, look, the thing with Trivial Pursuit is that sometimes it's really old. And so some of the questions are really hard, especially I find the pink questions, the questions about entertainment. But so here we go. Let's kick it off. We are starting with geography right there at the top. What city is nicknamed Kentuckiana? What city is nicknamed Kentuckiana? You have 30 seconds on the board.
Okay. Kentuckiana.
Welcome in, Momro. You missed the entire show, but that's okay. We covered a bunch of stuff, but it's okay. It'll be posted. It's always posted live onto, I don't know, Twitch or YouTube. YouTube kind of just automatically posts all of them, so you can go back and watch the program. Today's show was okay, I would say. Okay, Madison.
Okay, I literally can't think of a single city in Kentucky at all, and I'm assuming it's in Kentucky.
Okay, I'll give you a hint. It's the most obvious city in Kentucky. It's kind of.
Oh my gosh!
It's kind of like New Orleans, where you don't say the whole word, right? You kind of like New Orleans, right? So it's another one where you could pronounce it really hard, but nobody does that. Okay, Louisville. There we go. And we're hoping you're not Googling, or we're hoping David isn't behind it.
No, I promise I'm not.
David isn't whispering it to you. But here we go. Entertainment. What, according to Elvis Presley, was the name of his latest flame? Ooh, that's impossible.
What? I don't know.
What, according to Elvis Presley, was the name of his latest flame? The answer is Marie. Okay, great. What was fashion leader George? Now we're going on to history.
Oh, okay.
What was fashion leader George Brian Brummel often called? Who the fuck is that? Do we have...
What was his name?
How many boomers are in the audience, and can you answer any of these questions? What was fashion leader George Brian Brummel often called?
Georgie boy. I don't know.
One of the Bridges brothers has this as a first name. One of the Bridges acting brothers has this as a first name.
Jeff?
It is Bo. It is Bo, the other Bridge brother. Okay. Arts and literature. What Nikos Kazantzakis novel became an Academy Award-winning film in 1964?
I wish Papa was here.
Well, what kind of name is that name? Kazantzakis? Nikos Kazantzakis, what kind of name is that?
I literally don't even know.
It seems like the fans do not like to play Trivia Pursuit. We are losing viewers. That's okay.
No, it's my fault because I'm dumb. Well, I'm not going to say that I'm dumb. I'm going to say that I've been on the porch for a minute.
It is Zorba the Greek. It is Zorba the Greek. Famous
I've never even heard
Academy
of that.
Award-winning film from 1964, Zorba the Greek. Now, sports and science and nature. What bird was named for what was wrongly thought to be its country of origin? What bird was named for what's wrongly thought to be its country of origin? I'll give you a hint. You want a hint?
Is it the turkey?
Yes, it's the turkey. Ding, 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 ding. You got it. Way to go, buddy. What casino gambling's name means railroad in French?
Casino gambling? What?
I have never heard of this casino gambling game, by the way, just so you know.
Oh, so it's not roulette, okay?
It is not roulette. Does anyone know? It is ridiculous.
Is it called the tutu?
It is Chemin de Fers. Chemin de Fers, the very famous gambling game that everyone has heard of. Ellen, welcome into the Substack. Let's just remind people.
A harder card?
Let's remind people that they should go and watch Rev Deuce's new video. Is liberal media bias a myth? The answer may surprise you. I'm trying so hard to be like someone who engages and gets content, right? So go and hit that button, share it, promote, do all the things. We need that help from everybody. Also, go to all of Rev Deuce's YouTube videos and share them. We have another great video. Fox.
Did you know Fox News was created to manipulate you? I've got proof. I'm your information nutritionist, Rev Deuce. Fox News co-founder Roger Ailes first started planning Fox News in the 90s.
So everybody go and watch those videos, please, and share them across the internet. Madison and I were born in the mid-90s. You are children. You are children in this world. I was born just 1 month before Ronald Reagan became president for the first time and destroyed our country, setting us on a path to gross wealth inequality, the likes of which no one has ever seen. We have some of the greatest wealth inequality in in global history. Okay, so, all right, well, look,
When I was
because...
born, Bill Clinton was the president, and that's why my generation is so cool.
All right, well, that's cool information. Thank you, Madison, because you did so poorly in Trivial Pursuit. You earned the honor of selecting the genre for the song we are about to sing. We are about to improvise a song based on the suggestion of Pam Bondi saying that 75% of the nation's population was saved by Donald Trump because of interventions at the border on fentanyl. She literally has said that 200, what did she say? She said 258 million American lives were saved. It is the propaganda is getting so absurd that I think that the cracks are beginning to show, everybody. So please, what is the genre that we are going to do for this song?
We're going to do girly pop.
Girly pop. Okay, I hope that is a genre that Pixabay. If someone knows a better place, I would love to know.
Okay, hopping off. I have fun. Next time, pick an easier card.
Okay.
We love you. Goodbye.
Great, we love you. Thank you. Okay, we're going to do that one. We're going to do this one, everybody. Get excited. We are improvising a song based on the suggestion of Pam Bondi saying that 258 million lives were saved by Donald Trump. We're going to improvise a song based on the suggestion of 258 million American lives being saved by Pam Bondi. That is absolutely nutso-butso in your gagutso. So here we go. Here comes the song. We are improvising it based on a suggestion from our good friend, Madison. I'm just trying to get over to, I'm just trying to do something. Bear with your old pal, Rev Deuce here. Bear with your old pal, Rev Deuce. Bear with your old pal, Rev Deuce. Bear with your old pal, Rev Deuce. He's trying to do something here. Oh, that's where I had that Pam Bondi thing. Okay, so here also is Pam Bondi saying it. You ready? Watch this.
Never seen anything like.
Oh, no, that's her just doing this. Okay. All right. Where did it go? That is so annoying. Here we go. There's Pixabay. Okay. All right, everybody. Here we go.
Never seen anything like it. Thank you.
My band is called Big Jeans. Thank you. Okay, here we go. We are now improvising a song based on the suggestion of Pam Bondi saying that 258 million American lives were saved the day after she said 119 American lives were saved by Donald Trump intervening in fentanyl. Only 11% of the population does drugs. That's how many people do drugs. But Pam Bondi said that 119 million Americans were saved in only 100 days. Then the next day she doubled down. She said that 258 million American lives were saved in Donald Trump's first 100 days. Ridiculous propaganda. It's ridiculous propaganda. They'll say anything. You'll believe anything. Will you believe the next big lie? Pam Bondi sat with a straight face in a Dear Leader North Korea style meeting of the cabinet where they had hats that said Gulf of America. What will they get you to believe and say next? Let's think about what's gonna happen a month from now. You'll be saying that actually Donald Trump saved 400 American lives, even though there's only 335 million people in the United States. There's only 335 million people, and even though there's only 335 million people, guess what? Ridiculous propaganda. Ridiculous propaganda being shoved straight down your throats, and like a little baby bird, you're opening your mouth. You're saying, hey, give me that propaganda. Give me that ridiculous propaganda. The Attorney General of the United States said with a straight face that 258 million American lives had been saved in just 100 days by dear leader Donald Trump, who is the sexiest, healthiest, thinnest man in the world, who can lift cars with his finger, his pinky finger. He can lift a Tesla straight into the air and then drive it all the way to Mars. Ridiculous propaganda. You will believe anything they tell you. Ridiculous propaganda. What will you believe next? Okay, that was kind of fun. That one was kind of fun. We had a good time with that. Rev Deuce's voice wasn't so great. We'll fix it in post. We'll fix it in post, everybody. I want you to go and log on to YouTube right now, today. Right now, this moment, log on to YouTube. Go to publicenlightenment.com. Click on Rev Deuce's account. View his videos. Watch this video all the way down.
CBS.
Okay, look at this. I'm so proud of this
Man,
next part.
Who would expect the ride we're all having right now? The money's rolling in, and this is fun.
It's a funny video that tells your friends, your MAGA loved ones, and neighbors that the myth of liberal media bias is a lie. So do you want to talk about your information ecosystem? I want to talk about it with you. I'm going to hop off of here, and I'm going to go get onto TikTok really quick. I'm going to get onto TikTok really quick and see if we can't build more audience on TikTok. That is what I'm going to do. If you want to follow Rev Deuce over to TikTok, where he is going to talk about his latest and greatest videos with the people of TikTok, you can go find Rev Deuce beaming to you live from there. You are beautiful people. You are fact warriors. How will you be a fact warrior today? How will you tell someone you love them today? How will you lift people up? I realize there's a giant picture of my face next to me while I'm talking. How will you lift people up? How will you inspire people to move past the obstructions that fear creates for all of us and connect? How will you encourage people to be more of themselves, to release the energy that fear contains? Fear keeps us from living and speaking according to our authentic selves, and we want to push back on that here every single day. So we tell ourselves the daily dose to leave the program today. We tell ourselves the prayer that we created for this secular religion based on the tenets of quality improvisational comedy, energy, support, commitment, giving, connection, and gratitude. How are you going to be grateful today in every single moment? I'm so grateful for all of you. How are you going to give gifts to others? How are you going to make someone else in your life feel like a rock star? That is what we do on the improv comedy stage. We are all improvisers on the stage of life. Are you going to remain on the sidelines, or will you take a step off of the sidelines and be center stage in your life and in your democracy? Today and every single day, go and be a fact warrior in the information war. As always, this program is brought to you by Grass Milk. Grass Milk, soar. And when you go out throughout your day, are you imbibing information light, sucking down that sweet, sweet juice that does not inform? Or are you keeping those buns information tight? Yes, and we love you. I love you. Everyone loves you. Did you know? Isn't that so exciting? So please go and spread the good word of Rev Deuce all over the nation. I love you. You love me. We are an intergalactic family that is going to save humanity. Please, I need your help. Yes, and. All right. Peace out, Cub Scouts. Have a wonderful day. I love you so much. How will you love someone else today? I love you. Goodbye.